Greetings all with our first Sunday recording for Monday listening. Spain welcomes Tesla. Tesla welcomes an unlikely guest. We get a look at the 5-seat Model X. Tesla is poking the bear in Michigan, and some winter driving tidbits for those of us that inhabit snow-plagued regions. Here are your Tesla tidbits for December 5th, 2016. Back in October, Tesla job postings outed intentions to begin sales and service in Spain. ALEC reported Friday that the company has begun taking orders in the territory. Spain was one of the last Western European countries not officially supported by Tesla. The article details that while a large country, Spain is counterintuitively not a large market for new vehicle sales. Spain only sold 1 million new vehicles last year, which was actually a massive increase of 42% from 2012. Tesla released a statement marking the occasion. Quote, starting today, Tesla welcomes Spanish customers to visit the online design studio and order the Tesla vehicle that best suits their lifestyle. First orders of Model S and Model X vehicles are expected to arrive as early as end of Q1 2017. Tesla has confirmed both Barcelona and Madrid as the first locations for stores and service centers. Opening in the latter half of 2017, these sites will address the growing demand for Tesla vehicles across the Spanish market. End quote. In the unlikeliest of pairings, ALEC reports that Tesla is hosting the conservative lobbying group American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC for short. In the past, ALEC has pushed for regulations that slow the mission of Tesla, which as we all know is to accelerate the advent of sustainable energy. So it would seem to be that Tesla and ALEC go together about as well as peanut butter and fish. Bloomberg noted as such in their story on the subject, quote, Tesla's decision to open its D.C. showroom for the ALEC partygoers raised eyebrows among oil, gas, and electric companies that are members of the group and already skeptical of its new energy innovation project, funded in part by the environmentally minded ClearPath Foundation. ClearPath and its founder, entrepreneur Jay Faison, are dedicated to persuading conservatives to fight climate change and support clean energy. And in a previous role at another organization, the head of ALEC's Energy Innovation Project, Sarah Hunt, opined in favor of carbon taxes as a more elegant, cost-efficient way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, end quote. Tesla is not a member of ALEC, and this doesn't signify any certain partnership either. The article also then mentions that Tesla rents out its more upscale retail installations frequently, with the strategy being that it exposes folks to the company that otherwise may never see its products. And even in the lobbying department, Tesla has used its cars in the past to give rides to legislators while trying to convince them to side with their direct sales model. While it would seem that Tesla and ALEC don't have much in common, the new Energy Innovation Project may be of use to the company. We'll see if this goes beyond this one engagement or if it truly is a one-shot deal. Teslarati has some video of the new 5-seat version of the Model X in action. Earlier we reported on the 5-seat model getting the bench treatment for the vehicle's second row, allowing it to behave as the prototype model did during its announcement, getting that fold-flat second row. Operation is simple enough. A standard lever on each side of the bench activates the fold-down action, creating the best-in-class 88 square feet of cargo space. Check the link in the show description to see the full video. ALEC reports that Tesla has opened another new gallery. Normally, no big deal as this happens all the time. But this one is in Michigan, openly poking the bear up there. As we've previously gone over at length, Tesla is completely barred from selling or servicing its cars in the state and has pushed to overturn this law unsuccessfully, so much so that the state reiterated its stance at one point. But Tesla's Nordstrom partnership is the vehicle, I thank you, for this new plan of action. They have gone even so far as to put not for sale signs on the vehicles in the gallery to ensure the ire of legislators is not drawn, or at least that there's nothing they can do about it. I love that Tesla's gone all passive-aggressive on the state, as it's really the only option left without the legislative climate changing. I suspect that much of the time of employees of the gallery will be taken up by explaining why they can't actually sell folks a car, which makes this a powerful lobbying tool as much as it does an advertising one. Here's hoping that the location gets enough folks to begin asking questions of their representatives and senators that some positive action is taken. And lastly, I have a pair of links for some timely info. Given that we're in the first week of December, in the upper latitudes of the globe, we have this thing called snow that is a very pesky irritant. I thought I'd include a couple of notes on Teslas in the winter. The first is an admittedly older post from Tesla Living, but it popped up in my Twitter feed and I felt it worth sharing. It extols the virtues of the traction control and stability systems in the Model S. Now this car is an older non-dual motor Model S that with appropriate winter rubber on the wheels gets around just fine per per the post. Personally, I don't think I could have a non-dual motor Model S up here because I just don't trust it, having previously owned a performance car up here in the winter, but I'm certainly willing to listen to the other side of the argument here. The other link in the description is a look at the Falcon Wing doors of a Model X in Canada scoffing at the snow on its roof. It should be noted that opening the doors with too much snow on the roof is likely a recipe for a very wet interior, but with just a few inches, not only do the doors open just fine, the interior sees no snow on the seats as well. Both full links are certainly worth your time. And speaking of those links, be sure to check out the links to all of today's full stories in the show description. If you get some value out of the show, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. If you can spare even $0.25 a month, it would be most appreciated. Thanks as usual to my super patron, John Voltower, for his support at the $10 plus level. If you have no spare coin, it's no big deal. You can still support the show for free through positive reviews on the media services where you find the show, and by spreading word of the show to other Tesla lovers. If you have feedback for the show, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. Couple of housekeeping notes worth mentioning here. The dating of the podcast you hear at the opening of the show previously had been for the date of the recording. With the shift in the show's recording schedule and the intention of folks listening to the show the following morning, I'm now announcing the expected consumption date as the show's date. If you hear it early, congratulations, you get a bonus. Lastly, Patreon recently added the ability for creators to immediately bill for their content. This is awesome for us creators as it means we get funds sooner. The caveat is that billing will continue on the first of the month as usual for everybody. So if you contribute late in the month, you'll still be billed on the first. In addition, if you decide to make an increase in contribution, please do so, I'd love it. That difference gets immediately billed instead of waiting for the next billing period. I plan to enable this at the end of the week on the 9th. I strive to respect everyone's time by putting out a concise, informative show. For those that contribute, I certainly never take you guys for granted, so I wanted to ensure that everybody knew about the changes, as I definitely want no surprises for you. I so humbly appreciate that you find the show useful enough for you to contribute, so please never forget that, folks. Every little bit helps push me toward the dream of one day not just being a guy who obsesses over Tesla on the internet, but a guy that actually owns a Tesla he obsesses over. That's it for today. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.